Hi there, it's Denise Eckert, and I love coming on here and sharing different ideas and techniques to help you make your life a little less stressful. And today I've got Jill Kaufman. She's a therapist, divorce coach, mediator, and co-parenting expert. After going through her own difficult divorce, she made it her life's mission to help others so they don't have it as tough. Her book, online course, and transformative group coaching program helps parents navigate the overwhelming process of divorce, both emotionally, strategically, with less stress, more confidence, and a greater sense of peace. Welcome, Jill.
Thank you, Denise, for having me.
Now, what inspired you to do this kind of work? I want to hear
Uh,
everybody's story all the time.
yeah, I was a therapist and had issues in our marriage, and we ended up getting divorced. And I made so many mistakes. I just did everything wrong. It affected my kids, and it was a mess. And it didn't have to be. My ex and I get along well now, so we didn't have to go through that. And I really could have done it differently if I had more information and if I had the right support. And so I really wanted to help other people not make the mistakes that I made. And I really wanted to change divorce for all people as much as possible. And I'm actually recently started a directory for divorce professionals who are aligned in really lowering conflict and being family focused. And that's so exciting because there's so many of us out there who feel this way.
Now, why is divorce so difficult? Like you've gone through a bad divorce yourself. Why do people become not like themselves during divorce?
So, divorce affects all parts of your life, like so many different areas. It affects your status in the community. It affects how much time you spend with your children. It affects you lose people like in-laws and friends. And so you're losing part of your family, basically. And you are really losing the hopes that you had for your future. So you really have to understand how to develop a whole new future and prepare yourself for a totally different life than you thought you would have. I always talk to people what losing a person is very hard, and I don't minimize that. I've lost both my parents and both my brothers, and I understand grief. But my divorce was harder than anything else that I experienced because you're more isolated. Like when somebody loses a person, people come out, they make you food, they bring flowers, they send cards. The community supports you. When you're going through divorce, nobody knows what to do. They don't know what to say. So you really feel isolated, you feel judged, you feel alone. And it's one of the hardest things anybody can go through.
Now, doing this kind of work, what are your top three tips to make divorce easier on everybody?
So, number one, get the right support. Most people, this is what I did, think that they have to hire a divorce attorney, give them a retainer, and start working with the attorney. Now, the attorney is important. I'm not saying you don't need attorneys. You need attorneys because they know the law and the legal questions you have to get answered by attorneys. But they don't know what's best for your children. They don't know usually they don't know what's best for you financially. And they're not mental health professionals. So they can only help in the law. And a lot of people go to them for everything. I remember I vented to my attorney. It's a very expensive way to vent, and you don't get the right professional to be helping you with those emotional issues. The right support is therapist, divorce coach. Get yourself the emotional help first, and then the strategic help so that you know how to use your attorney. You know when you need a financial professional involved. So that is number one, get the right support. Another tip is you need to be amicable with your soon to be ex, no matter how high conflict they are. So you do your part to communicate respectfully and to not increase the conflict because this is a negotiation. The whole thing is a negotiation. And if you increase the conflict, the negotiations aren't going to go well. So you're not being smart strategically by being reactive. to your soon-to-be ex. And the third tip I would say is take care of yourself because this isn't a short time that you're going to be doing this. The shortest is probably close to 9 months to a year that you're going to get through this. And you can't do this if you're constantly stressed, overwhelmed, and not functioning well. So you have to put in whatever it is you need to take care of yourself. And for me, that was exercise. It was seeing my therapist, being around friends. Exercise is really, really helpful when you're going through this. Get out in nature and make sure that you can function.
Now, do you have any tips to lowering that reaction that we have when we are going through a breakup or a divorce?
Yeah, I mean, look, we all make mistakes and lose it at times, and you're not perfect. You're going to do that. But if you can bite your tongue, and I don't mean physically, but like don't say anything. Everybody talks about the pause, and it's really most of the time you don't have to say anything right away. You can say, well, I hear what you're saying. Let me think about it. You can say, you know what, right now we really need to take a break and we can talk about this in a few hours or tomorrow. Do whatever it is so that you don't react because a lot of people don't realize that their relationship with their soon to be ex is changing. When you're married, you have to respond to each other. You have to get each other's approval and agreement on everything. You have to care what the other person feels and thinks. It's not the same when you're going through divorce and when you're divorced. They can feel and think anything. They can think that you're wrong and that you're a terrible parent or that you're annoying. They can think whatever they want. It doesn't matter anymore. You don't have to convince them that you are a good parent or that they have to feel a certain way. You can let them feel whatever they want to feel, and you're just as a co-parent with them, if you have children together, co-parents are more like colleagues or coworkers. You just have to be respectful, do your part to be respectful, and move forward.
I love that you're talking about setting up boundaries too, because I remember when I went through one divorce, it was either it was me freaking out or him freaking out, but we recognized it, so we would go, okay, Denise, or okay, whatever, and we would put the talking off until we both were on the same page. Because there was always one of us, and it was like it was funny. It was like, okay, whose turn is it today? But it was good because we recognized it, and that was really important, and that we didn't continue with any type of discussion until we both were in a better headspace, basically. Now, for someone that's going through divorce, how can people support you? Like, as you said, when you're going through grief, people are bringing the casserole dishes over and spending time with you. So, as a friend to someone that is going through a divorce, what are the best ways to support someone?
So if you ask them, if you need anything, let me know, and they don't tell you they need anything, go to their house, take them out for coffee, go for a walk, get them out because a lot of people will feel, and it's so funny because I'm getting a little bit emotional about this. A lot of people feel judged and they just hunker down and they don't want to see people and they won't ask for help. And you really should check in on them and really don't force yourself on them, but make it so that it's easy for them to see you. Drop off some cookies or dinner or t take their kids for a little while or offer to do something, play mahjong. I don't know what it is that you can do with them, but do something to get their mind off of what they're experiencing. That's the best gift you can give.
A lot of times when we're going through divorce, whether it's cultural or whether it's in your own mind, as you mentioned, that you do feel judged and you can feel humiliated and you can feel embarrassed. Are there any steps that we can take so that we don't feel that bad?
Yeah, I mean, this is what the work that I do with my clients, whether it's my therapy clients or my divorce coaching clients, we work on our self-talk. We work on the self-talk. And your self-talk is usually, I failed, everybody's going to judge me, My kids aren't going to be okay. All these negative thoughts that really impact the way you feel. And so if you can change them, even if it's you don't believe it, I'm going to be okay. I know I'm going to be okay. Even if you can say that and you don't believe it, the more you say it, the more you will believe it. So changing your self-talk is huge, even if you're like, well, I don't really believe it. I really don't think I'm going to be okay. Or I really think my kids aren't going to be okay. You say, and the truth of the matter is most people are more than okay. Most people are happier after the divorce than they were before because being in a marriage that isn't healthy isn't any fun. It isn't good for you. It isn't good for your kids. And most people are on the other side of all of this in a better place. So I can almost guarantee that everybody listening who's going through divorce is going to be okay. So tell yourself that and really understand that even though it doesn't feel like it now, on the other side, you will be okay.
Now, do you have any tips for people that are dealing with children involved?
First of all, don't say anything negative about their other parent. And I see this happen all the time. That's really, really harmful to children. The biggest thing in children outcomes is the relationship between the parents. So if the relationship is good, children can be really good. If their relationship is not good, whether they're married or divorced, that really negatively impacts children. So if you can you don't have to be best friends, but you have to have a polite, respectful relationship with the other parent, no matter how difficult that is for you, and no matter how much they are trying not to have a good relationship with you. Don't get caught up in it. Keep at it. Keep at it. I always talk about this story, but my ex and I didn't have a good relationship right after the divorce. And I actually put together a photo album for him for his birthday from the kids. And the kids each wrote something to him. And they told me that when they give it to him, he cried. And after that, and I don't know if it had anything to do with that or not, but after that, we had a better relationship. And so, no matter how much you try, keep trying to make that relationship better. Do something kind for your co-parent, and eventually, hopefully, it will change.
I love that. Kindness does prevail, doesn't
Yes.
it? So I understand you have a free gift, the 8 guidelines for separated and divorcing parents. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So it's basic things on how to protect your children from the negative impacts of divorce. We talked about some of them today, but there are things that you can do and there are things that you can avoid doing that will protect your children, including what I said about not talking negatively about your ex and taking care of yourself, those kinds of things. But there's more. There's a lot you can do. One of the things I always talk about is listening to children. Like so many times our children will talk and we will try, they'll talk about something they're upset about, and we will try to make them feel better and we'll say, no, you shouldn't feel this way because this is going to happen, or they meant well. And that isn't good for children. We have to encourage them to express their feelings. Once we try to make them feel better, they're going to stop expressing their feelings. So you can say things like, tell me more. I can understand why you feel that way. I didn't realize you feel that way. I'd love to hear more about that. Whatever you can do, or just nod and shake your head and look them in the eyes and show them you're listening. Those are all really great ways to get children to talk and to once they talk and they get it out, they feel better. We don't have to fix it for them.
Well, we like to fix things. We like the
Yes.
shortcut. We don't want to see our children hurting.
Right.
But as you said, it's teaching them how to deal with their feelings and how to express themselves. And I think
Right.
that's really important that a lot of children don't learn.
Right.
And that's a hard thing.
When you're going through a challenging time like divorce, you feel like it's never going to end. Like you're in the middle of it and you're like, this is the worst possible thing I could be going through, and I don't see an end. And Everybody's divorce ends. Every challenging time that you go through, you get through it and then you move forward. And you just got to have the patience and the hope and the support, and you'll get there. So the other thing is you got to realize how what strengths that you have. And to get to the point that you are at right now, there's so many things in your past that I'm sure you've overcome that proves that you are strong. And when I work with clients, that's what we focus on. What are the things? And they're like, no, I haven't been through much. And then we talk about it and they're like, oh, yeah, I went through this and I went through that and I had to overcome this. And you don't realize we minimize our strengths, but we have so many real strengths there that we can build on and focus on. And that will get us through this challenging time and onto a better time.
Sounds good. Well, we're going to be wrapping this up. Jill, what are your final words to the audience today?
Well, I would love to help whoever it is out there who needs help. And if it's me or someone else, reach out and get support because it's so much easier once you get support. You can reach me at info@divorcecoachjill.com. I also have a free Facebook group, Separation and Divorce Support Community. I have my Instagram is divorce coach at divorce coach Jill.
And yes, and anybody who's watching or listening to this, I will be putting all Jill's information there. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and ask Jill questions. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It was a pleasure speaking to you because it is a very stressful time in our lives. And if we can have the different light on that, it just makes all the difference.
Thank you
And
so much, Denise.
now, leaving you a gentle reminder to slow down and enjoy life. And I'll see you in the next episode.